Good evening, members of the community and SEA members and all teachers. My name is Roni Asali, and I'm the SEA president, and I'm here to share with you a couple of things that have already kind of got set in place in terms of this campaign that we have now called the Respect Campaign. So some of you might hear there are shirts being passed around that say respect. There are red shirts. It's every Friday. People are going to start showing up to places. So I wanted to make sure that I send you this message from the SEA president, also representing the SEA executive board, as to what that message is really all about and how we can make sure we're all on the same page. Because as this respect campaign hopefully keeps growing and growing and growing, people are going to start asking questions, and we have to make sure that we are sending the same concise, consistent message to everyone. So with that said, please take the next few minutes as you're watching this to really think about the message I'm trying to send to you, so that way you are understanding where we're coming from and you're able to share that with people that may ask. The first thing with that being said is realize that when there's a big, huge word across our shirts that say respect, it is just as critical for us to be respectful. So respect is something that is certainly earned, and if we want people to, if we want, respect is something that's certainly earned. And we want people to respect us, and at the same time we have to get them to earn our respect. Which means that we have to make sure that we are presenting things and we are going about things in a very professional, very polite, very respectable manner. It is critical that we do that first and foremost, or the entire message and the entire campaign will be lost. With that said, there's really two pieces to this respect idea. The first one is from a local level, so I'm going to start there and I'm going to work my way out. The one from the local level specifically talks about what's going on with SUSD. Realize that in the last 10 years or so, cuts had to have been made every single year from the education budget. And a lot of that has to do with the state. And that is actually the second big piece, or the big ring of this puzzle in terms of the respect campaign. But when we talk about SUSD, cuts have been made across several different areas and several different positions, including certified classified administration. With this year's cuts, with $9 million, we have an even bigger gap to bridge, which means that this could potentially spill over into all three areas. When we come in and we say respect, we are specifically saying, let's please respect the most important thing that we value and we nurture, which is this quality of education with our students in the classroom. And that means that we respectfully ask, and we would like to receive the same respect, that these cuts need to be as far away from the classroom as humanly possible. We want this to be the least impactful on what matters the most, which is our students and their quality of education. That is the respect that we're referring to. Now, with that said, I realize that there are legalities, because the override was really specific, highlighting where cuts have to be made if it didn't pass. With its failure by law, those areas will potentially be affected. But aside from that, the respect means please keep all cuts away from the classroom and respect that quality of education that we all should respect, and most of us do. The second piece of respect, and I'm hoping this campaign goes much further than just this budget crisis we're in, is past that, this whole idea of respecting education as a whole. So this goes to the outer ring, where we get the state of Arizona to respect and see the quality of education. Because at the end, I know we are going to want to point fingers, and it's easiest, I should say, to point them to the people that are closest to us in that smaller circle. But the reality is, these budget crises and how we deal with them are all a result of the funding that is coming in and the value that the state gives for public education, which is not very much. And the reason I'm saying that is because this respect campaign needs to be going on throughout this year. This is not just we solved the budget cuts, okay, everybody go home. This, when the override goes on the ballot in November to save our schools and to bring back these great programs that could potentially suffer, we need to make sure that every single person that's wearing a red shirt and every single person that's willing to do something now is willing to do something when it actually matters with the vote. When it matters with, we say, yes, we need money, no, don't give us any money. That's when it's going to matter. So I want to make sure we are all really crystal clear moving forward from an SEA standpoint and what our campaign really means. Our campaign means, one, from a district standpoint, we need to respect education and we need to respect the classroom, because that's really where it's happening at the grassroots level. So all cuts need to be as far away from the classroom as humanly possible. The second piece of that is make sure that we are respecting education. We are talking to our legislators, and we are doing everything we can to make sure that we don't have to go through this again. by passing overrides and putting the right people in office and talking to the people down to the state, letting them know what's really going on. And again, as you do this and as you explain this to the different friends and constituency groups that ask you what this respect thing is all about, make sure that we are preaching what we are. Make sure that we are practicing what we preach, and we are doing it in a very respectable manner so we can all make it through this crisis together and come out on top. So we can all make it through this crisis together and come out on top to make sure that we keep the focus on quality education. Thank you.